Subscribe for more shitty content.
And like the video so I get more views. Thanks.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is eSportsMoney, ZSM, Mac10, whatever you want to call me, and welcome to my first jungling guide of patch 7.07, the Dueling Fates update. I am so excited, it is time to get spooky up in here. So the first hero I am doing is Wraith King in honor of Halloween. It is 10:30 p.m. on Halloween night as I am recording this, so it should be out by midnight. And not only that, Wraith King is actually possibly the best jungler in the entire game now, and he, on top of it, does so by being spooky. So, here's the deal. They changed Wraith King's abilities up pretty significantly when it comes to his passive. So his passive used to be a 15% proc chance that gave you a scaling crit damage. Now it is 300% crit damage at all levels. The proc chance scales from 9% up to, I think it's 13%, 15%, something like that. And if you crit on a creep, if you have your aura leveled, you heal yourself for their maximum health and you kill them instantly. If you don't have your aura leveled, you just kill them instantly. It's an awesome ability. But that's not spooky, is it? He's a ghost, not a skeleton, right? Oh, no. So every time you kill a creep with his passive, you get a point in this counter. You can see the little buff next to the tango. That's my spooky counter. And once that gets spooky enough, which means as soon as I get a few charges in it, I can use the ability and we get spooky. So what it does is it summons a skeleton minion. Lots and lots of spooky skeletons, little skeleton fight going on here. It summons a spooky skeleton minion for every single charge you have, which you get by killing neutrals, and they will attack anything that you're attacking or that's attacking you, and if you're not fighting anything, it will go push your mid lane. So, Wraith King not only becomes the most efficient jungler in the game because he has a 9-2 scaling upwards, I think 13% chance of instantly killing any creep, and he has lifesteal to sustain himself, that it makes it that he's not only the best jungler because of that, or one of the best junglers because of that, but if you max out his E and you save up enough charges, if the middle lane is empty, let's say their mid is dead or your mid is dead and because of it the other mid is left, you can pop that ability near mid lane. These things last for a pretty long time, and then they'll go charge. They'll just run down mid and push down the next tower. In fact, if you stick around for the whole duration of this video, after I finish how to jungle Wraith King in a normal game, I go over how to jungle Wraith King in a turbo match as well, both on the Radiant side. Though this works totally fine on Dire. And in that turbo mode, I actually accidentally killed the mid tower by 6 minutes just by sending skeletons down the lane. This is sick. This means that you can contribute to the lane by pushing heavily if you want to, if your team wants you to, in addition to being able to farm your face off. So, item build, skill build, talent build for the normal game. So in the normal game, I like Hand of Midas, and I like Hand of Midas a lot more than I used to on this hero, and I always liked it. But it's great now because you're so dependent on attack speed, because every single time you swing your sword, you have a chance to proc, instantly kill a creep, and get a little bit spookier. So I'm big on attack speed now, especially in normal games, because it helps me farm faster. As far as skill build goes, the ideal skill build to me, and I would probably do this even if I weren't in the jungle, would be to max my Mortal Strike crit first, get a single value point in my Vampiric Aura, and max my Hellfire Blast second. So, well, Wraith Fire Blast if you're not hip. So if you're a normie, we'll call it Wraith Fire Blast, but it's your Q, it's your nuke. That's what I'm gonna max first, and because or that's what I'm gonna max second behind my E. And because I'm maxing that after my E, it's kind of up in the air whether or not I want the DPS talent for Wraith Fire at level 10 or plus 20 attack speed. Again, I'm kind of going Midas anyway, so I'm not as big on the attack speed. So that's largely up to you. But I think the plus 40 Wraithfire DPS is pretty good, and I'm going to get my Q maxed out pretty quickly anyway, so I'm probably going to put as many points as I can into Q. Once that's maxed, I'll put a point into that level 10 talent. Level 15, you have a choice between +5 max skeletons or +15 strength. Now the max amount of skeletons that you can have off the bat is like 7, and you can make that go up to 12 if you add +5 max skeletons. Might be slightly off with those numbers, but I know it's at least 7. So that's going to bring you up to 12 skeletons. So absolutely going to, I mean, it's a spooky build, so I'm going to do that. Also, if you just noticed the footage cut off, we have gone into turbo mode. So this is an overview of how I jungle the hero in turbo mode. You just saw the regular mode, but I'm going to keep talking itemization for the regular mode for the time being. So at level 20, I'm going to choose between +30 attack damage or no reincarnation mana cost. Now, as great as no reincarnation mana cost is, if I'm not against somebody that's got a lot of mana burn, I'm always going to go 30 skeletons attack damage. If I'm playing this game on Halloween, which I am, then I'm going to pick 30 skeletons attack damage because let's get spooky in here. His skeletons are not to be underestimated. These have a decent amount of hit points, and they do like 35 to 40 damage. And even though you can't control them and they have their own AI behavior, they benefit from auras, they benefit from minus armor like AC, they benefit from all the things that typical minions do. This means that if you go +5 max skeletons, save them up, and you go Desolator, suddenly Wraith King has gone from being like the last hero you would consider a decent pusher to one of the best pushers that there is, in addition to being an awesome initiator. So at level 25, you can choose between +25% Vampiric Aura Lifesteal or Wraithfire or Reincarnation Cast Wraithfire. This one is up to you. If you are going maximum spookiness, you're going to put those points into your aura, and the reason being is because, of course, your minions are going to benefit from it, but considering I am a rat, you don't really get lifesteal when you hit buildings, so I'm not as concerned about it. So I'm probably not going to go for the Vampiric Aura Lifesteal. Again, up to you though. If there's a lot of heroes on your team you think that would benefit from that, then go for that. But his level 25 Reincarnation Cast Wraithfire Blast is an incredible ability, so even though I didn't get the Reincarnation talent at level 20, I'm probably still going to get the Reincarnation talent at level 25 because it's so sick. It makes you a team fighting boss, and if you do that and you pop back to life and then pop out a huge amount of skeletons, suddenly everyone's slowed, everyone's stunned, everyone's taking damage over time, plus you've got the Wraithfire DPS talent from level 10, and they're being attacked by spooky skeletons. They're going to have to buy Divine Rapiers to keep them safe from skeletons. So that is an overview of how I go into the talents with this hero. As far as skill build, I've kind of hit the nail, and I've kind of already talked about that, but the one thing that I didn't mention is that I'm going to get a point in my ult at every single possibility, or every single possible time, and this is because he's for a long time considered been a walking ult, and I don't think he is anymore because of the way his E works, but I'm going to be maxing his ult first. Now, in the jungle, in a real game, in a higher MMR game, I think he's an incredible jungle. I don't care what your MMR is, he's a viable jungler. But if your MMR is pretty high, get a Stout Shield and a Quelling Blade and a pack of Tangos. If you're below 4K, you don't even need to buy a Stout Shield, because once you hit level 2, you're tanky as hell. And remember, Stout Shield got a minor buff now, so you actually take a little bit less damage than you did before when you have a Stout Shield, kind of to account for Poor Man's Shield being removed from the game. So you don't even really need that. In fact, in my previous video, you saw all my item timings was about 6 minutes and change. I've got a Midas, and I've got Brown Boots, and I'm just generally good to go. You can roll that back by a good 30 seconds, 45 seconds, because I bought a Stout Shield, and really, you don't need one. It's awesome. You saw me get the starting bounty rune. I do that in most of my jungling guides, especially because the creep spawn time's been moved from 30 seconds to 1 minute. But again, it doesn't matter. You're gonna get that money anyway. This hero is a phenomenal jungler. I mean, look at me. I'm about to go fight I'm about to go fight Ancients. But remember, this is turbo mode. So in turbo mode, Midas is still something that's on the table, and it's something I did for the purposes of this guide, but you may want to hold back on that in favor of getting a Blink Dagger and then rushing a Desolator, because you need to be out of the jungle by like 7-8 minutes in turbo mode, and you need to be fat as can be. If you are jungling for 8 minutes in turbo mode, when you leave the jungle, you better look like an anti-mage that people forgot was in the game for the last hour, because turbo mode, things go fast. Everybody gets money super fast. If you don't know what turbo mode is, it's basically like all pick easy mode from the old Dota 1. It's really, really fun. It's my preferred way to play the game now. It's really, really cool, but you gotta pay attention because everyone's getting really, really, really fat really quickly because the passive gold is so high and the experience granted by monsters is also really high. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this content, hit the bell icon next to the subscribe button. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already hit it, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.